On July 8, 2026, a 68-year-old retired Master Corporal named David Thibodeau walked into a TD Canada Trust branch in Mississauga and asked the teller to wire $3,400 to an application processing account listed on a website he had found the night before. The teller, trained under new internal protocols for veteran benefit fraud, walked him into a private office. Within 40 minutes David realized he had already lost $1,200 the previous week to a priority processing fee he had paid by Interac e-transfer to a Gmail address. By the time he called his daughter in Oakville that evening, his approved grant email had vanished along with the website. The real program he thought he was paying to access had never asked him for a single cent. David served 26 years in the Canadian Armed Forces, including 2 tours in Kandahar. He balanced his own budget every pension payday. He trusted that website because it had the Veterans Affairs wordmark and a maple leaf, and because it promised him the $40,000 housing grant in 14 days instead of the 4 to 6 months Veterans Affairs Canada had told him to expect. What happened to David is part of a wave hitting roughly 11,000 Canadian veterans every single month. The Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre logged $214 million in veteran-targeted benefit fraud and grant application fraud losses in the first half of 2026 alone. Veterans Affairs Canada has confirmed fraudulent, priority processing websites impersonating the department have appeared in every province, with concentrated operations in Ontario, Alberta, and British Columbia. But here is what most veterans have not heard. Veterans Affairs Canada, the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, Service Canada, and credit unions across 9 provinces have now issued joint consumer protection guidance about 5 specific behaviors that are causing applications to be denied, delayed, flagged for investigation, or quietly drained. Not suggestions, not informal tips. Formal guidance backed by documented case files from the first 6 months of 2026. I went through every one because the next David Thibodeau could be a friend you have coffee with next Thursday. My name is Caroline Devereaux. I spent 18 years as a Service Canada benefits adjudicator before I started tracking how retirement programs are exploited. What I cover on this channel is exactly this kind of information. New benefits, new rules, and new scams targeting veterans before they become a permanent loss. Let us start with the warning that is costing veterans their own money before their real application is ever reviewed. The first formal warning concerns what VAC is now calling expedited processing websites, and the rule is absolute. The department does not charge application fees. It does not charge priority fees. It does not accept gift cards, cryptocurrency, e-transfers to personal Gmail or Hotmail addresses, or wire transfers to foreign banks as part of any housing grant application. Anyone who tells you otherwise is operating outside the law. Here is how the scheme works. A veteran searches online for Canada Veteran Housing Grant or VAC Housing Benefit 2026. Several paid ads in the first half of 2026 led to polished websites with the Canada wordmark, the Veterans Affairs name, professional photos of veterans in uniform, and an Apply Now button that routed the veteran to a $399 expedited review fee or a $1,200 document authentication deposit. The veteran pays. A confirmation email arrives within hours, often with a realistic reference number. 2 weeks later, the website is gone, the email bounces, and the veteran's actual VAC application either was never started or was submitted with the wrong details because he believed he had already paid someone to handle it. A retired captain named Marlene Baudry in Gatineau paid $750 through an Interac e-transfer to a Hotmail address after a VAC program officer called her about her pending grant. The officer told her the file could not be advanced without an identity verification payment of $750. Marlene paid. The officer called back the next day asking for another $1,500 for title verification. At that point Marlene called the real VAC number printed on the back of her VAC health card. The representative confirmed no program officer would ever request payment by phone, by e-transfer, or by any method outside the official My VAC account portal. Here is exactly what you do. Every legitimate Canada Veteran Housing Grant application begins and ends inside My VAC account, the secure online portal at veterans.gc.ca, or by mail submitted directly to Veterans Affairs Canada. You never pay to apply. You are never asked for payment by phone, by text, or by an operator of a website whose URL does not end in canada.ca. If anyone asks you to pay a fee, an expedited review charge, or a document authentication fee at any stage, hang up, close the browser, and call 1-866-522-2122, the official Veterans Affairs Canada line. That single call will confirm whether you are speaking with the real program or with an impersonator. I want you to remember Marlene's name because she comes back later. The second warning concerns what CMHC and VAC are now calling document handoff fraud, and the language they have started using is absolute. Your service records, your discharge certificates, your medical documentation, your proof of disability rating, and your identification never leave your hands to a stranger offering to submit them for you. Not to a community advocate you met last week. Not to a veteran outreach worker who called you unsolicited. Not to anyone who shows up at your door wearing a VAC lanyard or pin that no one from the department would ever wear in the field. The reason this rule exists in such uncompromising terms is that documents held for even 60 seconds outside your direct supervision have been used in the first half of 2026 to file fraudulent secondary applications, to lift credit in the veteran's name, and to redirect approved grant funds to attacker-controlled bank accounts. A retired petty officer named Devin Cardinal in Edmonton handed a folder containing his service record, his VAC Disability Award letter, and a void check to a man who approached him outside a Legion Hall in April. The man identified himself as a Veterans Affairs Outreach Liaison, and said he was helping veterans in the area apply for the new housing grant before the August 2026 deadline. Devin waited 11 days for a confirmation email. None arrived. He called VAC and learned no outreach liaison had visited his city. The folder had been used to open a personal line of credit in Devin's name at a Calgary credit union and to redirect his approved $12,400 disability-related home renovation benefit into that line of credit. If someone approaches you, in person, by phone, by email, or by social media message, and asks you to hand over your documents so they can submit your application on your behalf, the only correct action is to end the conversation. Take the documents home. Log into My VAC account yourself. Upload them yourself. If you genuinely need help submitting paperwork because of a mobility issue, a vision limitation, or a language preference, call the official VAC line and request an in-person appointment at a VAC office. Those appointments exist in every province. They are free. They are confidential. If anyone near you, whether at a community event, a coffee morning, or outside a Legion branch, pushes back when you say no, that pushback is the clearest possible signal that something is wrong. Now, if this information is making you think differently about the last conversation you had about the housing grant, I need you to hit the like button right now. Not for me. The algorithm uses that signal to push this video to other veterans who are standing at exactly the same crossroads this week. One tap from you might be the reason someone else does not become the next Devin Cardinal. The third warning addresses something that feels unnecessary until you understand the technology and the timing that make it critical. CMHC and VAC are now stating without qualification that no agent, no third party, and no processing partner will ever have a legitimate reason to log into your My VAC account on your behalf. Not to speed up your application. Not to check on your status. Not to add a document for you. Not even during a sanctioned in-person appointment at a VAC office. Documented cases in the first quarter of 2026 involve third-party login assistance, capturing veteran credentials during a brief in-person interaction, holding the veteran's phone or laptop for an average of 38 seconds while typing at speed, smiling, and handing the device back. Within 72 hours, an approved $40,000 grant deposit that should have arrived in the veteran's own bank account was rerouted by an attacker who had added a new direct deposit routing number to the veteran's profile. A retired sergeant named Yvonne Tessier in Montreal sat across from a community advocate at a Veterans Resource Center in February while the advocate typed into Yvonne's laptop using her credentials. Yvonne watched him work. She trusted his credential card. She signed out of the session when he finished. 11 days later, her file was marked approved in my VAC account, but the direct deposit information had been quietly changed overnight. Her $40,000 was sent to a numbered account at a digital bank that does not operate in Canada. The same rule applies with paper applications. When a VAC employee helps you fill out a paper form at an in-person appointment, that employee is required by department policy to step back while you sign. That is not courtesy, it is policy. Under the Privacy Act and the Veterans Well-Being Act, your signature is something only you provide. If you are signing a document and the person beside you keeps writing or keeps touching the page with you, you can say directly and politely, "Please step back while I finish this." That is your right. Any legitimate VAC employee will honor it without hesitation. If they do not, ask for the office manager. Now, I need to tell you about the scheme that cost Canadian veterans an estimated $214 million in the first half of this year alone. And I need you to understand something uncomfortable about it first. The veterans who fall for it are not careless. They are not confused. They are often the most disciplined, most detail-oriented, most service-trained people in their communities. And they still lose everything. That fact should frighten you, because it means the scheme works on exactly the kind of person who believes it could never happen to them. Here is the pattern. You receive a phone call or an email. The sender identifies themselves as a Veterans Affairs Canada officer, a CMHC housing officer, a Service Canada agent, or a Canada Revenue Agency collections officer. They tell you your $40,000 housing grant file has been flagged, that you owe a verification fee under immediate review, or that your disability documents are out of compliance and your benefits will be paused unless you act today. They sound professional. They know your name, your service number, sometimes the last 4 digits of your SIN. They are calm, authoritative, and persistent. They create urgency without shouting. They create fear without threats. Then they give you an instruction. Go to your bank, withdraw the verification amount, send it by Interac e-transfer to a personal email address, by gift card, or by cryptocurrency at a kiosk in a convenience store. The moment you send the money, it is gone permanently. Interac e-transfers to personal emails cannot be reversed once accepted. Gift card numbers are spent within minutes. Cryptocurrency is not reversible at all. The cash is gone as completely as if you had torn it into pieces. Ontario's Serious Fraud Office opened a joint task force with the RCMP's National Cybercrime Coordination Centre in March 2026 specifically to address the wave of impersonator websites and e-transfer fraud targeting veteran housing grants. 8 provinces had launched parallel public education campaigns by June. But the scammers still operate across the country with no consistent geographic limit, and they specifically target veterans between the hours of 9 a.m. and noon, when they know spouses are out and adult children are at work. Here is the absolute rule. No government agency will ever instruct you to send money by Interac e-transfer to a personal email, by gift card, by cryptocurrency, or by wire to a foreign bank in order to receive, verify, or unlock a benefit. Not VAC. Not CMHC. Not Service Canada. Not the CRA. Not the RCMP. Not under any circumstances, not even in a genuine administrative review. That instruction in any form from any caller or sender is always fraud. Always. There is no exception. If you are watching this and you have a parent, a neighbor, a veteran friend who lives alone, this is the warning you share with them today. Not next week. Today. Banks across Canada are now training frontline staff to ask about unusual large cash withdrawals or unusual large e-transfers, especially when the customer is on the phone or appears to be reading instructions from a sheet of paper. If a bank employee asks you what the withdrawal is for, especially if you have a phone in your hand or appear to be following instructions, answer honestly. They are not being intrusive. They may be the last human being standing between you and a permanent, total, irreversible loss. The fifth warning brings us back to Marlene Baudry. Remember her from the Gatineau e-transfer incident earlier? After losing $750, Marlene went into her Service Canada office the following Monday to ask what to do next. While waiting in the lobby, a man wearing what appeared to be a Service Canada lanyard approached her, said he could help her set up direct deposit for her approved housing grant, and asked to see her phone. Marlene handed it over. The man held the phone for approximately 40 seconds. He appeared to tap through several screens, handed it back, smiled, and said everything was set up. He was not a Service Canada employee. He had walked in from the parking lot wearing a lanyard purchased online. Within 4 hours, an approved deposit notification appeared in Marlene's My VAC account inbox, but the direct deposit details had been quietly changed overnight. The same man had installed a remote access application that gave him ongoing control of her phone even after she had left the building. Your phone with an open banking app or an open VAC portal is direct and complete access to every benefit linked to that session. Veterans Affairs Canada and banks across the country are now formally warning customers, your phone stays in your hands, inside any government office or bank branch, always, without exception. Frontline employees help customers by explaining what steps to take and what buttons to press. You enter the information yourself. The employee guides you verbally. They do not handle your device. If anyone inside a Service Canada office or a VAC site insists they need to physically hold your phone to help you, ask for the site lead immediately. Any legitimate employee will understand that request. If the person pushing to hold your phone hesitates to involve a manager, that hesitation is the clearest possible signal that something is wrong. Now, here is something you can do this week that costs nothing, takes 10 minutes, and could be the call that saves everything. Veterans Affairs Canada now offers, and as of April 2026 is required to offer, what is called a designated trusted contact. This is different from power of attorney. It is different from a beneficiary. A designated trusted contact is simply a person, a spouse, an adult child, or a close friend, whose name and phone number sit on file at VAC. The trusted contact has zero access to your money. They cannot make transactions. They cannot view your balance. They cannot authorize withdrawals. They are simply someone VAC can call if its fraud monitoring system detects unusual activity on your account, or if a request to change direct deposit information is received from a device VAC does not recognize. A retired lieutenant named Robert Mackenzie in Halifax set up his daughter as his trusted contact in February. In May, his file showed a change request to redirect his $40,000 housing grant to a new bank account in another province. VAC called his daughter within 90 minutes. His daughter reached Robert, confirmed it was unauthorized, and VAC reversed the request before it cleared. $40,000 saved by a 10-minute form filed 3 months earlier. Log into my VAC account on Monday. Under Account Settings, select Trusted Contact and add one person. You need a name and a phone number. Here is your checklist for the next 5 days. Monday, log into my VAC account and set up your trusted contact. Tuesday, search your emails and your phone messages for any urgent messages about the housing grant from senders you do not recognize, and delete them after reporting the sender to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre at 1-888-495-8501. Wednesday, refuse to hand your documents to any third party who says they will submit them for you. Thursday, practice logging into my VAC account yourself, end-to-end, even if you have no pending changes, so you know exactly what the legitimate portal looks and feels like. Friday. Tell one veteran you care about what happened to David Thibodeau. Tell them the number, $1,200. Tell them the rule. Veterans Affairs Canada never charges an application fee. If you made it this far into this video, you already know more than 90% of veterans walking into a Service Canada office tomorrow morning. But knowing is not protection. Action is protection. The 10-minute setup is protection. The refusal to hand over your documents, your phone, or your money to anyone outside a secured government office, that is protection. David's son told CBC News one more thing. He said, if somebody had shown him a video like this the week before, he would have recognized the call for what it was. He would have hung up. Be the person who shows someone this video. Subscribe so the next warning reaches you before it reaches the imposters. This response is AI generated, for reference only.